What's going on, guys? My name is Teddy and welcome to my channel. This is my second video besides the Lake Catherine video I did, my very first video on this YouTube channel. If you guys didn't see it, check it out right here. It's a really cool video. I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot of how I did that video and the upcoming tutorials. Today we're talking about Aperture and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay guys, so first things first, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here in the short amount of time that I'm going to do this video. I don't want to make it 30 minutes long and you get 30 seconds out of it. I want to make it kind of short, but get to the point and not tell you about how many cats I have and shoot portraits of my dog and show you guys. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. Let's do it. Just to start this video off, I just want to say that Aperture controls the depth of field. The depth of field, I don't know if you guys do know this or not. I'm going to pretend like you guys don't know anything. Depth of field is basically how deep or how shallow the background is. Also, it means how blurry or how not blurry the background is. Same thing. Shallow is blurry, deep is not blurry. Dang, that just sounded complicated when I said that. Every lens has different numbers and different stops of aperture. A stop is these stops. All these stops are here. There are 7 stops on this lens. This is a Rokinon 14mm. 7 stops of aperture. The lowest number is a 2.8 aperture. The highest number is a 22 aperture. I'm gonna explain this in a second. I'm gonna explain all the numbers. Don't cry. A 2.8 aperture. If you can see here, you can see straight through this. It is very, very open. 2.8 is really open of the aperture. That means a lot of light is coming in. The lower the number, the more light comes in. The lower the number, the more light comes in, the more blurry the background, or the more shallow. So you're at a 2.8 aperture. I'm gonna go outside and show you in a second. You're at 2.8 aperture. That means the background's gonna be really blurry. I have a 55mm lens that does a 1.8 aperture, so it's a couple stops, I don't know how many stops exactly, more than this. So that means the background's gonna be even more out of focus with the 55mm lens. This is a wide angle lens, so it wouldn't have a 1.8 aperture. So that's a 2.8 aperture. If you go all the way down to 22 aperture, if you can see here, that's a, this is better, I'm sorry. This is a 2.8. That's a 22. If you can see, it closes. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to do a close-up just in case. But you can see it's closing. That's a 2.8. That's a 22. 2.8, 22. So that means 22 is closing the lens. Less light. Less light closing the lens. That means the background is more in focus. So why would you want to use these? Let's say you're doing landscape photos. If you want to get everything in focus, like if you're going to the mountains, the Grand Canyon, somewhere where you want to see everything and not have a shallow depth of field, and you want to see everything super detailed, go to a 22 aperture. That might be a lot. You can go to a couple stops like 11, 16, 22. I wouldn't recommend going under 8 for landscape. If you're doing portraits, if you're doing like a close-up, if you're doing senior pictures, something like that, go to a 2.8. I wouldn't go over 5.6 for portraits, because you want that background kind of blurred out. You want it where the subject is the main focus, and opposed to the 22 aperture where the main focus is the landscape. So you want to see everything in the 22 in the landscape. When you go all the way down to 2.8, that's for portraits. That's where you want to see the details of the man and not anything about the background, because he's the main focus. I know that's a lot in a short time. Just keep on replaying this video if you need to. But let's go outside and do a couple tests, and I'm going to show you and talk to you guys through it just a little bit more so you understand it. Alright guys, so there's some golfers in the background. Don't mind it. I'm in my backyard. I don't know if you can hear them or not. I don't know how good this mic is. It's probably not that good. I do more video than photo, so that's why I have the microphone on here. But basically, I'm going to show you how to do it photo way. It's the same exact process in video. Also, I'm shooting on an A6000, so it's not 4K anymore. I was shooting 4K, the vlog style. So, yeah. I'm going to be taking a picture of this little, what is this? Bird feeder thing. I don't know. Here we go. So this is Aperture 1.8. It's my 55mm lens. This is Aperture 1.8. Wait, what? Oh guys, shoot. I was on movie mode. Ha! Beginner mistake. Aperture 1.8. Here we go. Why did I take 2? So as you guys can see in the picture, the background, the tree is really out of focus. We have the bird feeder and this pole thing holding it really in focus. So that's what I really want, because I want the bird feeder to be the main subject. So now we have to go as far down as we can on the aperture, because I'm gonna show you guys the difference like drastically. But the only thing is, the farther down you go, the less light comes in, like I was talking about. So that means you have to either put down your shutter speed or crank up your ISO. I'm gonna be talking about that in later videos. So I'm just gonna crank up my ISO just a bit because it's the A7S Mark II and it's a beast of a light lens. What? It's a beast of a lens for light, low light. All right, low light, all right. All right, guys, we're at f/22. I never use this unless it's like when I do long exposure photos, following on Instagram at Findysz. You can see a couple pictures there. I'm actually gonna do one today. f/22, here we go. All right, so we're framing this bad boy up. It's a little bright, so I'm gonna put down my ISO just a bit. All right, and picture. Wait, I'm gonna same exact spot. And 3, 2, 1. Why is it taking 2? So this is f/2.8. And this is f/22. You can see a huge difference, and that the tree in the background is more in focus. Again, this is 2.8, look how out of focus that is, and then 22 is where the background is in focus. So it's all based on what you wanted to focus on. I really wanted to focus on the bird feeder there. I didn't want to get the tree in focus in the background because that's what I was going for. But if you did want to go have both in focus, you would do f/22, or you don't have to go that high if you don't want to, but the higher the number is, the more everything will be in focus. So that's basically it. I'm just gonna say one more thing. So when you're on a 1.8, remember, it opens up. That means more light's coming in. So when that happens, you either put up your shutter speed, put it to like 500 or whatever, or you put up your ISO. I would recommend leaving your ISO as low as possible because of the, my brother's home. This is awkward. Okay, so before I was rudely interrupted, thanks parents. I can still hear them. I just want to say that the lower the number, the more light comes in. So that means put your ISO down, which I would do that. I'd recommend that over putting your aperture up, because the lower the number for the ISO, I'm going to talk about in a later video, that means the better quality of the image is. The higher the ISO, the more sensitive it is to light, and I'll explain that later. But yeah, that's basically it. That's what aperture is. It's depth of field. It's how in focus or out of focus you want your background, how deep or how shallow. So yeah, guys, that's it. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. I said it was gonna be a short video. The next video is gonna be about ISO. I'm gonna explain all about that, and then these two will connect. I can't talk. These two will connect kind of better. Thank you guys for watching.